I'm ready. Yo, 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 yo. Go ahead and put me on the screen. Add me to the screen so they can see me. What's up, y'all? Let me know if you can hear me. Yo, now we're talking. What's up? What's up, Real David? What's up, Kingdom? What's up? Why don't y'all just put your okay, there we go. Federico, now we're talking. Okay, now we can see. I can see myself on Instagram now. Let me know. Let us know in the chat if you can hear me. Say yes, yes, yes. We're talking about the available leader, what it means to be more available to our assignments. Okay. And I thank you for tuning in. We're going to get rolling here. We're in a studio because that's how fast things start to move when you make yourself available. You know, I started this live stream because I wanted to answer the number one question of what's our assignment and how do we become more available to it? I believe that each and every one of us has an assignment, divine reason for why we're here, a unique gift, a unique expression that only we can offer the world. And part of our whole life's focus is to be the living embodiment of that. And it is an infinite game. As long as we have breath in our lungs, as long as we have the opportunity to wake up, as long as we have the opportunity to lead, to serve, to speak, wherever we are, we have the opportunity to be available for our assignment. And in that availability, there is a depth of presence, of effectiveness, of what's the word for fluidity, adaptability. There's a depth. There's a way we can move in our own assignment that produces greater and greater works. Like for me, one of the things I know as my assignment is to speak. And now I've made myself available. I did not want to drive into Nashville, especially East Nashville, to Music City Work Club. Shout out to Music City Work Club to record this podcast. But they were ready to stream. And I was like, y'all can do that? Okay, I'm available. Now, I could have not been available. I had a lot of other stuff. This wasn't in my plan to do it. It's easier to do it from my home studio. I got stuff to say. I don't necessarily need it, but if you got it, why not use it? Somebody should type that in the chat. If I got it, why not use it? There, Q Williams, he knows what's in the building. Shout out to you, bro. Okay. By the way, if I'm talking to screens, Brittany likes it. She that means she can hear me. What's up, wifey? She's available. Okay. So today, I want to walk you through this availability audit. All right. If you're a leader of a company, if you, I believe everyone is leaders. I learned that from John Maxwell. He used to say, he still says it today. Everything is influence. Leadership is influence. Leadership is influence. Like everybody has influence with somebody, whether we're doing it intentionally or not. We're always influencing somebody, someone, something with our energy, with our countenance. Even if we're being still, our energy still influencing the environment. So we matter, you matter, okay? I don't know why it feels like I gotta sell people on themselves so much lately. It's like I can't even start the content because most people don't even. I'm getting ahead of myself. Availability audit. Number one, what am I available to? What am I available to? Like. I'll tell you a story. I'm telling myself. I was in a long conversation, an argument with somebody that's close to me. I'm trying to be discreet, but I don't like when leaders always talk about old stuff and don't talk about present stuff. Okay, they say speak from the scar, not from the wound. This is the wound. Okay, but I believe I'm doing it to be of service. Okay, so I'm talking to this team and no. I'm talking to this person. I'm talking to this person, and we're debating about something far too long. They're asking too many anti-division questions. Let's just say it that way. It's going too much in the wrong. I don't want yes people. I don't want yes men or women in my organization or around me. I want people who have an opinion. I want people who be like, I don't care how passionate you are. That was a dumb idea. But I also know that sometimes you need people who are like, man, I don't know if I see it like you see it, but I'm still all in and we'll figure it out. And so we were in one of those debates, one of my team members, and this was like, it went from, the meeting was scheduled for 30 minutes. And we ended up talking for like, I don't even want to tell you the real time, so I'm going to make up a time. 90 minutes. It was much longer than that. But 90 minutes is already too much on a 30-minute meeting when we already had other stuff to do for that day. And I was mad at this individual for wasting my time. Like I was upset. I was angry. I was frustrated. And then I thought something. I looked myself in the good old mirror, mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the fairest one of all? And I looked myself in the mirror and I said, you know what, Daryl, it's you. You made yourself available to that. You made yourself available to that. You saw the clock when it went to 40 minutes and 50 minutes, and you kept, because you had a need to be right, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what my motive was. I'm still processing. It's a wound, but I made myself available to it. And I'm talking about it now, so I make peace with it. And so I help people talk about stuff in real time and not suppress stuff that's happening every single day. Because one of the fastest ways to not be available for your assignment is to suppress emotions that you're feeling on a daily basis. And you don't make space for yourself. I call it self-availability. So the first place you need to be available to is yourself. Self-availability. You got to be available to you. You got to take space to you. And so I said, what am I available to? Daryl, what are you looking at? What are you listening to? What conversations are you having? What are you available to? Because this is not, for what's going on in our world, for how fast, and I want to say, I feel like everyone's saying, for the pace of AI, and I agree. AI is speeding things up. Yes, good. Stop moving slow. I'm mad this is being live streamed. Please edit this part out. Okay. Ask yourself, what am I being available to? The world is moving so fast. We don't have time to waste. We don't have time to be focused on stuff that's not our priority in our decisions. Man, one of my good friends texted me and was like, yo, I just got laid off of my job today. I was like, my response back was like, did they give you a notice? He was like, no notice. Just done. Now, I know every company's not treating everybody that way. And I know everybody's job is not at threat because of AI. It might be. But here's what I know. Regardless of whatever AI narrative there is, there's still a timeless truth. Tomorrow's not promised. There's only today. And if I want to make the most of today, I got to be available to what I'm most on this planet to be available for. Like, is that too many availables? Somebody let me know. Storyhouse Collective in the house. What's up? What's up, Brian? What's up, Yusuf? Let me know. Let me know if I'm available. I feel like I'm saying available too much. Okay, so you ask yourself, what am I available to? What am I looking at? What am I listening to? What conversations am I holding space for? And really, I guess just I'm not trying to tell you what to do with that. I'm just trying to say, like, if it doesn't feel good, if it's not producing what you want, like, change it or get out of it, you know, like get out of it. Like, Daryl, listen, at what point is your cutoff? At what point are you going to stop trying to convince the unconvincible? At what point are you going to either say, listen, I respect your opinion. I hear it. I need you to be this. Can we like stop now? Like, I don't even know if that was the nicest way to say it, but I'd rather say it with a good intention than to just cut and run. And that's one of the things I noticed is that at the core of how we make ourselves more available is really communication. It's like you got to be able to communicate your personal boundaries to people without making it feel like it's about them. Because I noticed that a lot of times when you're not available for certain people, which is really my second point. Point one is what I'm available to. Second one is who am I available for, right? Like, who am I available for? And when I think about that, I'm like, man, how is it that somehow I'm available for a long conversation with somebody who's struggling, but I'm not available for a higher level relationship for somebody who's succeeding. Like why does it seem like I have an hour for suffering, but not an hour for triumph? Like it's a real thing to pay attention to. And I don't mean like I'm not really in that, but we got to start looking at our actions with a greater lens if we really value ourselves. And I'm not talking about white knuckling every moment of every time and telling people you don't got 2 minutes for them. I'm glitching, ain't I? I'm not talking about showing up that way. What's up, Jim? I'm talking about what am I doing? What am I creating? You ever thought about that? Like, what if you ever have a day where you're like, dang, I wish I could start over? What if you could? And what if you could start over that day and say, you know what, today, everything I thought I had to do, I'm not going to do. I'm going to do something totally different. I'm going to show up as a different version of myself. I'm going to change. I'm going to start to look at every one, because we're talking about who am I available for? I'm going to start to look at every one that I'm around, that I'm talking to. I'm going to start to look at them like, are we on the same mission, accomplishing the same purpose? Is this the highest use of our time? And at the core of it, this is when we hosted our Seeding Greatness social events. The next one's February 24th, Middle Tennessee. Make sure you come out. One of the things that we wanted to do is maximize human potential in a room, because you have 50, 100, 150, 200 people, God forbid, 1,000 or 2,000 people in a room at a conference. And all we do is sit them down in chairs and turn the temperature down and make them listen to speaker after breakout after speaker after breakout. We did not harness the collective potential of the room. We only elevated 4 gurus. Oh my God, when there was 1,000 in the room or 100 in the room or 150 in the room or the 50 in the room, everybody has a genius. So to me, I do believe in experts. I like to speak. Please hire me to be one of the experts, please. But what I'm saying is, that's not the only part of the event. The best parts of the events happen at the margins. Like the best parts of the events happens from the Q&A section. It happens when you hear how the information's landing for people and what their ideas are, what they see that we didn't even see yet. It comes from our collective gifts coming together, making the fabric of society. It doesn't come from 1, 2, 3 single gurus. Even this podcast I'm doing right now, one of the reasons why I've resisted it for so many years doing consistent streams is because I start to feel like people just are like overly listening to me and under listening to themselves. And at least subscribe if you're going to do that. I'm just But don't under listen to yourself. Listen to yourself. Let me ask you the question. When's the last time you listened to you? And for how long? And with what amount of depth? Like, there's people now, I can't say how I want to say it. There's people now that will send me ChatGPT messages before they even read it themselves. On their own. Hey, here's what I think they did. They sent ChatGPT my message. They copied it, pasted it. They say, hey, send this back to Daryl. It's like, I'm like, this don't even sound like a human, and you don't even see it? Are you thinking about the impact of your own existence? Are you thinking about how much you matter? Are you thinking about how much more influence you could have if you were more available to what only you can do? I'm not talking about like business optimization, although this does lead to that. I'm talking about strategic impact. I'm talking about taking our callings more seriously. I'm talking about valuing our gift like we value, can I be honest, other people's gifts. You know, it's funny, sometimes when I speak, you know, people will be all, they'll have like a speaker manager at the event, and they'll be, accommodating to every single need that I might have. They're like, what water you need, what type of snacks you need. Okay, here's your green room, like microphones, check. And they're like doing this. And I really appreciate it. It's helpful so I can stay focused on the message and give value to the people. But there's a part of it that makes me deeply uncomfortable, is that sometimes there's this undertone that somehow my role is more important than their role. And I sometimes give, a little thank you moment from stage to the people in the AV in the back. But I don't think that it actually lands for people in the room. I think everybody go, yay, thank you, AV team. Get to the good speaker. And it's like, no, you don't understand. If nobody knows this AV team until the stuff stops working. It's like, I guarantee you, if it stops working right now, everybody would care way more about the AV team. Hey, I guarantee you that if you go to lunch break and there's no lunch, everybody would start caring more about the wait staff. So I don't like that there's this undertone that somehow what I'm here on the planet to do is more valuable or impactful than what they're on the planet to do. That's not true. That's not true for me. I think everybody's role matters. I think everybody's time matters. People have kids, priorities, values, dreams. So if they're going to be working with us in our companies and we're going to be leading people, man, we better be available to them and them not just be available to us. Man, if I'm having conversations and I'm here to change the world, I'm starting to look at my time like, Daryl, I can't treat every relationship like it's of equal impact. Every person is of equal value, but not every partnership is of equal impact to the world. Every person has value. But when you partner up with people, sometimes more magic happens than when you partner with other people. And so who am I available for is about, where does the magic multiply when I'm around them? Like, when does it go from, we're just sort of like homies to, yo, we're transforming a community. Yo, we just eliminated poverty. Yo, we just teamed up and launched a live stream show. Now we can pipe in and have a global conversation with some leaders around the world when the internet stops buffering. Who am I available for? Because it would be a shame to be so available for drama that you're not available for dreams. I would choose dreams. What am I available to? Who am I available for? And why am I available at all? I think I talked about that enough. And I told the team, like, hey, please create this as a resource, as an availability audit for people. Because I think if we just took 10 minutes a day to go, okay, why am I available at all? Who am I available for? What am I available to? And if we just sort of like spend some time assessing that for ourselves, because we have self-availability, then man, it'll clear up some decisions. It'll clear up some relational dynamics. It will help get some ducks in a row. It's just like a little enhancement to our normal time management processes. And so if that's something you want, we're working on that resource right now. I literally just made it up this week in terms of like, I've been doing edges of this practice, but I've been more available for the reflection side of my own work. Every single day for 15 minutes at a minimum a day, I reflect on my day and I review what worked, what didn't work, and what can I do to improve. What I'm actually looking for at the depth is I'm looking for, Daryl, where are you repeating limiting behaviors? And it's not aware, you're not aware of it in the moment, but you can be aware of it in the reflection. They say hindsight is 20/20. And so when I'm doing that, just at the end of the day, I'm able to look at my day and be like, oh, That was the pattern that was playing out subconsciously. Let me be more aware of that the next day. So when most people are doing like quarterly audits or yearly audits, I'm doing those on a daily basis. So how many more tweaks and optimizations and efficiencies can you make? And how much can you get out of your own way and not repeat same mistakes or bring, today's mistakes into tomorrow? And man, corporate culture is riddled with this type of inefficiency. When I worked in athletics, we watched film of our practice. That would be like an executive leader watching the recording of their meeting instead of listening to the transcript. No, we're going to pull up the meeting. We're going to watch our body language. We're going to look at who spoke, who didn't speak. And I bet you'll see there's people who want to speak, but the meeting isn't conducted in a way that allows for them to speak. It's just like it's too tight. There's not enough availability because we're rushing to produce results instead of maximizing the people who produce the results with us. Like it's just like we're rushing and we're missing the moment. But that's why we have to be available for the moment. So I challenge you, ask yourself the question, what am I available to? Who am I available for? And why am I available at all? And just do that little audit on a 10-minute basis. And whenever the team finish this resource this week, if you want us to send it to you, just type like availability audit or hashtag replay or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Just hit us up in the DMs and we'll make sure that we get you this resource that we're creating because it'll guide you through it just step by step. It's like doing a little homework, filling the blank worksheet each day. Okay. So that's it, y'all. Remember, the number one question we're seeking to answer every week with this series is what's our assignment as leaders and how can we become more available to it? Because we're not satisfied with being good enough when we can be greater than we've ever imagined. So go out there and conduct your availability audit. Stay tuned to this stream as we continue to produce these each week. And let us know your feedback, your insight, what helps, what's not helpful. I really want to hear from you. I'm not just trying to do content. Like I really want to make a difference. So let me know if you found elements of this helpful and how you're applying it and if you want that availability audit. And we'll talk soon. Okay? All right. Peace.